Witnesses saw something strange in the street that night, and it involves a baby.
It's kind of frightening, actually, because we've never really had anything like this going on.
The only thing I can think of is, you know, maybe somebody wanted a baby.
And some things were taken, a couple
what it is.
I've seen a gentleman walking up the street carrying a baby.
I close my eyes, I see her. I can't.
We're optimistic that she's still out there and still alive, and the family prays for her return, her speedy return.
Explosive developments in the baby Lisa case. Shocking new details in this search warrant affidavit. Cops say the scent of death was found in baby Lisa's home. Also tonight, 3 eyewitnesses now claim they saw a man with a baby walking on the street the very night baby Lisa went missing. It's extraordinary. Listen.
It was about 12:15. My husband was leaving for work, and we were paying attention. He kind of stopped and was looking down the street, which was kind of odd, because normally he just gets straight into his car and then leaves. At that time, whenever I looked out and I kept watching him, he was kind of looking down in the bushes, and the next thing you know, we seen a gentleman walking up the street carrying a baby.
Wow, this woman lives only 3 houses away from little Lisa's home. And another witness says he also saw a man matching that description carrying a baby 3 miles away from the home at about 4 in the morning. That's the same night this child disappeared. The exact same hour baby Jeremy's dad, the baby's dad, Jeremy Irwin, I should say, calls 911. So, okay, does this confirm baby Lisa's parents' theory of a baby snatcher, or does new evidence point at them? In a possibly game-changing revelation, the police affidavit finally reveals why cops got a search warrant for baby Lisa's house. It says, quote, the cadaver dog indicated a positive hit for the scent of deceased human in an area of the floor of Bradley's bedroom near the bed. I'm taking your calls on this. What's your theory? 1-877-JVM says, 1-877-586-7297. Straight out to CNN, Sandra Endo on the ground at the house with the latest on the shocking new information in the search warrant.
Well, Jane, it all started Monday when investigators went into the house behind me of baby Lisa. That is when the parents, Deborah Bradley and Jeremy Irwin, allowed investigators in. And that is when police say an FBI cadaver dog, as you've been mentioning, got a hit on the scent of a dead person inside Deborah Bradley's home on the floor area around her bed. That is why they say they needed a bigger search warrant in order to go into their house and explore it some more. Also, in this affidavit for a search warrant, police said that in initial conversations with Deborah Bradley, she said that she didn't check behind their home for the baby Lisa, because she was, quote, afraid of what she may find. So those 2 bases are the reason why police filed this document in court and asked for a larger search warrant.
Famed prosecutor Stacey Honowitz, a cadaver dog hits on human decomposition in the very room where the missing baby's mother says she passed out after a night of heavy drinking. And 3 people see a mystery man walking with a baby in 45-degree temperatures the very same night. What is your theory?
Listen, if a cadaver dog is hitting on human decomposition in the bedroom of the house where the baby's missing, there's something to it, especially if that was the grounds to get the search warrant. The search warrant is very telling. We all saw yesterday on the air 20 agents in hazmat suits going with x-ray machines to check out the walls, to check out the floors, because of what the cadaver dog hit on. And certainly there have been inconsistent statements with the mother. The idea that the lights were on, you know, a stranger coming in and flicking lights on to take a baby out sounds a little suspicious. And I think what's highly suspicious in this case is the fact that she won't let 2 other potential witnesses, her other children, talk to the police officers. I think that's very telling. I think the idea when your child is missing, you're afraid to upset the other 2 children is a really lousy excuse. So I think we're going to have to wait and see. I think the police officers have already spoken to those other 3 individuals with regard to seeing this person come down. But the idea that it...
Hold on. But wait a second, Joey Jackson. Couldn't it point to a baby snatcher? By the same token, couldn't it point to a baby snatcher, the fact that this man is seen walking down the street with a baby?
I think it really could, Jane. A couple of things to point out. Number one, with regard to the cadaver dog and the positive hit, we all know that there could be false positives. What does that mean? It means a cadaver dog may hit on something. However, it may not be what they presume or claim it to be.
Let's assume for a second it's an accurate hit.
Well, if it's an accurate hit, Jane, then obviously it's problematic because these dogs, you can argue, are very highly trained, and as a result of their training, they would hit on something that would be or suggest.
What does it show? Okay.
It shows.
You've got
it could show
the baby possibly dying inside the home.
Right.
And then you have a man walking down the street at around the same time holding a baby that's naked, mostly, in 45-degree temperatures. I want to go out for a second to Steve Moore, who joins me. You're a former FBI agent. Can you connect the dots on those two reported events?
Well, if you've got a cadaver dog hitting on human decomposition, it would indicate that there was a dead child in the room, not somebody coming in, snatching a child and taking it somewhere else. The type of things that happen with a kidnapped child do not include killing them at the place you take them. It changes the character, it changes the entire thinking process of the investigation if you believe that the child died in the room.
How long? Okay, the affidavit says that I'll just read it. A positive hit for the scent of a deceased human in an area of the floor of Bradley's bedroom near the bed. That's where she said she was sleeping. How long does it take for a body to develop the scent of death? How long, if there was a body, if this hit is accurate, and I know there could be mistakes, but how long would it take how long would the body have to be there?
Jane, the studies I've looked at say that no dog has ever hit successfully on a scent where the person or the body had not been dead for an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. That's the earliest threshold.
And usually?
About 3 hours they're going to be fairly accurate with.
Okay, so the whatever body was there, I pray it's not, but if it was this child there for probably at least an hour and 15 minutes, possibly 3, maybe more. Let's look at the timeline of events from the night baby Lisa went missing. Okay, after buying the wine, Deborah puts Lisa to bed at 6:40. She drinks with her neighbor until 10:30 at night. They're drinking on the stoop. Okay, she says she went to bed. Not even 2 hours later, at 12:15 in the morning, witnesses see a man with a baby walking down the street. Again, it's very cold. The baby is wearing almost no clothing. 4 a.m., another witness says he sees a man matching that description holding a baby 3 miles away. This is the same hour, the very same time that the baby's dad says he has come home from his overnight shift, doesn't find the baby, and hysterically calls 911. So, my question is, Bill Grady, reporter KMBZ, you are tracking this case. What theories are developing as to what could have happened between, well, either 10:30, when the mother says she went to sleep, and 12:15 a.m., or is it possible that the child, we don't know, aside from the parents saying that they put the child to sleep or the mother put the child to sleep at 6:40, we really don't know when that child was last seen by somebody other than the family, do we?
No, because the mother has given, according to police, some conflicting statements. Now, one of the attorneys in the case, Joe Tacopino, says that may have been because she was under such emotional duress, and that may account for the 4-hour time lapse. And so, quite honestly, Jane, the investigators here are doing everything they can to sort of firewall this case, and they're really not saying very much. But I've talked to a couple of retired police officers who have expressed some concerns and said that, you know, things just don't add up, and the way that everything is starting to come to the surface now, the sequence just doesn't seem to fit. It's a little disjointed.
But who is this mystery man? We'll discuss it on the other side.
In a hurry. Then the gentleman actually turned like he was going to go in the grass to go into one of the houses up the street. So that's why at that time we did not think anything of it.
That is one of the 3 witnesses who saw a man walking with a baby, almost naked baby, in the dark, 45-degree temperatures at the very time that baby Lisa is reported missing in the very same neighborhood. Now, I want you to take a close listen to that description of events that night. It's fascinating.
And then he had the baby in his arms, and he had the baby's head kind of like this. So we just kind of seen the baby's arm, and then the leg was down here. And he was kind of just like, I don't know if he was trying to protect it from the cold, or if he just, you know, he was just holding the baby.
All right, we're going to go out to the phone lines. They're lighting up. Lori, New Hampshire, your question or thought, Lori?
Hi, Jane. How are you?
Hi. Good.
When I first heard this today, I can't remember, but when she was in the store buying the wine, wasn't her brother with her? And didn't he have a white T-shirt on? And could it be possible that she harmed the baby and got a hold of him? And it was him that people.
Well, we're going to go to that video.
Probably and trying to, out of
Let's
panic.
go to the video. Excellent, Lori. Let's go to the video of the mother. There is, I can't tell. No, that's not a white T-shirt. That's a black T-shirt. And also, he is not, well, he's slim, but he's, I want to go to the description. Bill Grady, give us a description, and we'll put it up at the same time. What's the description of this mystery man who was seen with the baby?
Well, they're very similar. He's 5'7" to 5'8", 140 to 160 pounds, and that's about as specific as folks have gotten, Jane. And I might add that, again, because the police aren't actively commenting on the evidence that they're gathering in the case, but one of the retired police officers I talked with expressed some concern that these folks didn't come forward earlier. The latest gentleman that saw the man with the baby lives.
Well, Bill, I'm going to interrupt you for a second because we have a sound.